Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relix, and today we're going to discuss what went down during the NHL trade deadline yesterday. So, if you guys weren't aware, the NHL has a trade deadline where teams are able to trade players, contracts, and all that stuff. And since after that trade deadline, that is not allowed until the next season during the off season. Things like that happen every single year. And come trade deadline time, it gets pretty crazy. Now, some of the things I was expecting to see didn't really happen, and then some things were shockers. And there are times where, I'm like expecting something really big to happen. As you guys can see based on this picture of the cover for the NHL trade tracker, Tomas Herr was the latest trade, and that to me personally, I think that is the biggest shocker of the trade deadline. But we are going to discuss everything that happened, or at least, go into a little bit details on certain trades that I felt like were kind of important or make a difference. So they are in chronological order of when the trades happened. So we are going to go back actually a little bit farther. So going back to March 1st. Today, by the way, is now the 9th, right, for you guys. So March 1st, Devils acquired Curtis McDermott. I believe this was shortly after the Kings beat them in our game, and they acquired Curtis McDermott. If you guys don't know me, I have a Curtis McDermott jersey. I love Curtis McDermott. He was a great King. He's a great enforcer on the blue line, as well as he can play forward. He is one of those players that can be versatile, quite unique unique skill set that he comes with, even though he is not, the most skilled player in the league. So that was quite interesting for me to see that McDermott became a Devil. Now that's the Devils, boosting their lineup to see if they can make a playoff push. However, with recent events during the trade deadline, I don't know if that's going to be the case still. But in any case, McDermott, look. Welcome to Jersey, Curtis McDermott. Look at that. Avalanche. He was an Avalanche. But yeah, pretty much I am happy for him to be, able to stay in the NHL and in general because, like I said, he's not the most skilled player, but he is a very strong defenseman. And honestly, I am upset about the Kings not going and getting him back after he was drafted by the Kraken in the expansion draft. He is the kind of defenseman that we need on our team. Instead of having, for example, Andreas Englund, this new to the team this year, could have got McDermott. Go trade for him back. He's the kind of defenseman that the Kings need. Someone who is a stay-at-home, hits hard, will protect their players, and he's a big body with a long stick. Everything that Englund is, but he's already established, right? So I personally thought Chris McDermott should have been something that Rob Blake should have looked at, but unfortunately that's not something he wanted to do. Obviously, to me, Rob Blake's like a one-track mind. If you're out, you're done. You're never coming back. And that's kind of disappointing to see. But that's Curtis McDermott, so, that's March 1st. March 5th comes around. Anthony Mantha traded from the Washington Capitals to the Golden Knights for a couple draft picks. He is turning it on a little bit more this year for Mantha. He hasn't been doing very well with the Capitals, but overall, he is doing pretty good, and Washington will retain 50% of Mantha's salary. Again, if you guys don't know what's happening with Washington, they are in a quote-unquote rebuild. The players are getting older, all the veterans. And Evgeny Kuznetsov was sent down to the AHL, placed on waivers the other day, and now he was also picked up today by the Hurricanes, or I guess in this case, yesterday, by the Hurricanes. So the Hurricanes are adding Evgeny Kuznetsov to their lineup. Again, the Washington Capitals are just getting older, their players are getting injured, and they're just trying to go with the team they have now until Ovechkin retires. And apparently there is reports, I don't know if one's 100% certain, but there is reports that once Ovechkin's contract is up, and I believe that's next year, he will retire. So that is something of concern, considering that he is chasing Gretzky's goal record in the NHL. Long way to go considering his current progress. So it is something to keep in mind going forward. I wish him all the best, of course. And, of course, as my brother's second favorite team in the league, I do wish the Capitals all the best as well. They do have some players that we do care about here, even in LA, such as Nick Dowd. Yeah, and then, of course, some of the players, the veterans there, gotta give respect to them too. So, wish them all the best. Going into March 6th, Tarasenko was traded to the Panthers from the Ottawa Senators. And this one's kind of a big one. Albeit he is a left-handed shot. I thought he was a right hand. For some reason, my head was thinking he was a right-hand shot. He is a right wing playing left-handed. I thought for some reason he would be a great addition to the Kings if we could go get him. Not being the case because he is left-handed, and I keep saying we do need a right-hand shot. So obviously that's out of the question. But he goes from the Senators, a losing team in the league, to the Panthers. Chance at a Stanley Cup for sure. With his skill asset, for sure, the Panthers are adding a really big piece to their team. I have no doubt that he will do decently well. I mean, he's only 32 years old. He has 41 points this season, 17 goals, 24 assists in 57 games on a losing team. That's actually pretty good in my opinion. Having playing now on a stronger team, I'm expecting him to definitely maybe hit the 60 points, maybe even 70 if he gets his groove going. Obviously, it depends on how fast he acclimates to his new team. But I definitely think Tarasenko will definitely help them going into the playoffs. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think this is a great trade for the Panthers. And I think for a team that's going for a Stanley Cup this year, they definitely have the right tools, both on the forwards and the D. Heck, even the goaltending is spot on. I think the Panthers are definitely one of the strongest teams in the league right now. And adding Tarasenko just adds more to that depth. Former King Sean Walker was also picked up on a trade from the to the Avalanche from the Flyers for a first-round pick, no less, by the way. So this one was a little shocking to me because personally, I don't think Walker is worth a first-round pick on his own at all. So quite interesting that the Avalanche were willing to give up not only just a player, Ryan Johansson, and the first round pick, but overall, Walker's not that great, personally. I just don't think he is. Compared to, for example, when he was on our team, it was always Doughty on top, of course, as a right-hand shot, with me personally believing Dursey was the next best, followed by, obviously, Jordan Spence, who is currently now on our team, as well as Matt Roy being next, then Sean Walker. Obviously, Sean Walker brings a good shot from the blue line. I personally don't know how well he's doing. Let's take a look. It will tell me his stats here. Apparently, am I just not seeing it? Yeah, I'm not seeing his stats here. Oh no, it's just showing his full stats. So it's not showing his stats here. Let's see. If we just click here real quick. I could just do this real quick. In 63 games, he has 6 goals, 16 assists for 22 points with a +9. So on the Flyers team, which isn't one of the best teams in the league as well, that's actually not too bad. But again, does this scream a first-round pick player for you? I don't believe so. So I do not believe this is a great trade for the Avalanche. But hey, Flyers, you get a pick and a player. So you know what? I think that's a good deal for the Flyers. Horrible deal for the Avalanche. But that's okay because I hate the Avalanche anyways. So, wish Sean Walker all the best, of course. But yeah, doesn't scream first round. But good for him. Next up, March 6th, again, Casey Middlestad traded to the Avalanche for this by the Sabres. Now, this one was kind of actually interesting. This was a 1-for-1 trade from Casey Middlestad and Bo Byram. Personally, I'm very shocked by this one because it's a 1-for-1 trade, and Bo Byram I thought was a pretty decent player for the Avalanche. Now, I don't watch Avalanche games as much, so I don't really know, the same thing for the Sabres. I don't really know both players personally. I really don't follow them. But reputation-wise, I do believe both players are pretty good players. And to see this 1-for-1 trade, just a little, just a little out there. I don't really think it needed to happen. As we see here, Middlestad was in the final season of a 3-year contract. So it's a pretty cheap contract for Casey Middlestad, 2.5, honestly. He has 47 points this season in 62 games. That's actually pretty decent for a 2.5 million player. So, hey, you know what? If Bo Byron wasn't working out with the Avalanche, I thought there was any problem there, to be honest. But hey, you know what? Avalanche get a cheaper player, so guess it works out. Bo Byron. No, that's not okay. So it doesn't tell us here, but that's shocking to me. I'm surprised they, kind of went without him. So, oh well, that's that. Moving on, Henrique and Carrick to the Oilers. This one quite interesting. So looking at this trade, the Oilers get Adam Henrique from the Ducks. That alone, I thought, was pretty substantial because Adam Henrique is an established NHL player. He is a great center. Obviously not like top tier, gotta be first line or second line type center, but he is one of those guys who can add depth to your lineup, especially given the fact who he's being traded to, the Oilers. As we all know, Connor McDavid is clearly the best player in the entire league. Center number 1, Draisaitl. Me personally, one of the top 3 or 5 in the league at center. Draisaitl number 2. You also have Nugent Hopkins there. Again, another center who's currently playing wing with McDavid, also can center. And then you got now Adam Henrique, who could solidify the third line center role. So again, we all know the Oilers have troubles throughout their lineup. Obviously, it's a top-heavy lineup. But adding Corey Perry more recently earlier as well, and now Adam Henrique, that solidifies a third line. So now you got plenty of players. You got McDavid, Draisaitl, Kane, Nugent Hopkins, Perry, who do I say? Henrique now, and then McLeod's starting to turn on, Hyman, and then of course, me personally, I believe Warren Fogle was their next guy up on the lineup. That's 9 guys. That's 9 good forwards. That's a top 9 lineup, and your fourth line is whatever. Obviously, we all know the fourth line can't score for the Oilers. So, but if they ever do get secondary scoring, that's going to be dangerous, right? So, Oilers definitely have a strong forward core going into the playoffs right now. And as long as they stay healthy, they look to be a very dangerous team. Defense and goaltending, still shaky. Obviously, goaltending, you only have Skinner. So that's not a real big concern if you're going to be the team facing the Oilers. However, in the playoffs, most teams you go with one goalie. So Skinner being the guy is not going to be unexpected. Defense still needs help, but I think Bouchard is doing a really good job on the blue line for them, as well as some of their other guys picking up the slack a little bit. But defense definitely should have been a concern for them. I don't know if adding Henrique is going to be the best thing for them, but we'll see. Like I said, definitely going to be a scary top 9 role, and we'll see where it goes. Again, I'm going to skip over some of these other ones, but Hanifin added to the Golden Knights from the Flames. This trade is just adding to the defense that the Golden Knights already have. I mean, they got Martinez, they got McNabb, Pietrangelo, now Hanifin. That's a pretty solid lineup. Oh, and of course, Shea Theodore came back from injury as well. So that is a scary decor. That is, me personally, I think this is probably one of the best decors currently in the league. And for the Golden Knights to add all of this together is just insane. So, yeah, quite the interesting development here in Vegas. Congratulations to Hanifin for getting traded off the, no offense, but losing team on the Flames to the Golden Knights, who, once again, every year, going all in on a trade, and it's probably going to pay dividends. Honestly, they have been losing recent games, but this may be the spark that makes them come back and start winning some more games. Currently, they got kicked out by the Kings in the Pacific Division. So now it's the Canucks, Oilers, and Kings currently holding the Pacific Division spots for the playoffs. But the Golden Knights are the top wildcard spot, and they will most likely push their way right back in if we're not too careful. The Kings being, that is. So yeah, that was actually a pretty good trade for the Golden Knights. Me personally, that's what I believe. Again, some other trades here and there. Nothing super substantial, to be honest. Again, speaking of the Oilers trading for defensemen, they get... where are the details for this? It's funny, this article is supposed to be about Troy Stecher. However, it's all the way at the bottom. Here we go, at the very bottom right here. Oilers made another trade, getting Troy Stecher and a 7th round pick for a 4th round pick in the 2077 NHL draft. Now, they're adding for the moment now, which is great for them. Troy Stecher, not the best defenseman. Well, without a doubt. He was a King for a little short time. However, he has pretty good potential to play a really strong two-way game. So that's something that like I said earlier, that the Oilers need, a solid defenseman, and I think Stecher could definitely bring that to their game. So good on the Oilers to see that they saw they needed help on the defense, and adding Stecher I definitely think will help them, even as slightly as just, making slightly better plays defensively. Is he going to be expected to score? Probably not, but it is a little bit here and there that will go a long way. What else we got here? So some other small names. Here's another one. Tampa Bay Lightning adding Anthony Duclair. Personally, I always thought Duclair was a pretty skilled player with some speed, but obviously recent years have shown that he's not as hyped up as he was when he was a little bit younger. He still can fit a pretty solid third line role on any given team. Personally, that's what I believe. And again, he has 27 points, 16 goals, and 11 assists in 56 games with the bottom of the league Sharks. So it's not surprising that his production is low. Going to the Lightning, I am expecting him to pick up that pace a little bit. I am expecting him not only to get a 20-goal season, but I'm expecting him probably to finish with maybe even a 40-point season. And adding Duclair to your bottom 6 players is actually just phenomenal, to be honest. I hate the Lightning. Lightning is the most hated team in my league for me, but seeing this trade actually is a little scary. Not that we were going to be playing the Lightning in the playoffs or anything, but they are adding a little bit more depth down the lineup, and I think this is a great trade for them. And it was for a prospect player and a 3rd round pick in the next draft. So I'm a little surprised by the trade results, but I don't know who Jack Thompson is, so it's not really a big deal for me. But yeah, Duclair is definitely worth the trade, I believe, and hopefully, I don't hope for it, but hopefully him as a player will add to the team and make his career improve instead of going downhill. Obviously, one of the biggest names, Gunsel, traded to Hurricanes on March 7th as well. Again, I thought personally Gunsel was a Penguin. I thought he was going to be there for his whole career. Apparently not the case. He was traded to the Hurricanes for Michael Bunting as well. So, that's quite the development, honestly. There's a lot of information going on here. You guys can read the details there as well. However, me personally, I'm just here to talk about the details of what the trade benefits. And I do think, obviously, Hurricanes getting Gunsel means that the Penguins aren't going to make that push for the playoffs. If they make it somehow, congratulations to them. But it kind of doesn't look that way right now. Obviously, Gunsel going to the Hurricanes, hopefully he adds a lot more to their lineup. And as we know, Hurricanes have always been a pretty dangerous team offensively for the past few years. And adding Gunsel, who, I don't know, is he still injured? I think he may still be injured, but if he comes back healthy, then that's just another offensive powerhouse that they just added to their team going into the playoffs. And obviously we'll probably see quite a bit of scoring from him going forward. So, again, shocker for me that the Penguins got rid of him in general. but it is something I guess that needed to be done. But the NHL is a business, and it sucks sometimes. Like I said, personally, I thought Gunsel was going to be a Penguin for his whole career. Apparently not the case. Next up, let's see, what else we got? Like I said, mentioned earlier, Kuznetsov traded to the Hurricanes, again, for a pick. Great deal, I think. And if the Hurricanes can utilize Kuznetsov's playmaking abilities, congratulations to Kuznetsov for getting that capability to play again in the NHL, as well as the Hurricanes for acquiring a pretty skilled player, regardless that his production has been downhill. If they can get him to fill a specific role, probably on the power play, maybe even like the second unit, then I think they just added another key piece to their cup run. So we'll see. Otherwise, not too many other good stuff happening right here to start the trade deadline. Again, these are now into the trade deadline on March 8th. Going up, then we have the Toffoli trade. So, as I was watching the Kings game the other day, I heard that the Devils had scratched Toffoli. After saying that they had no plans to trade him, they scratched him. 100% pure giveaway, they're going to trade him. So, Toffoli was scratched. Toffoli was then now traded to the Winnipeg Jets for a couple of draft picks. Wow. Just wow. So this, to me, in my eyes, is the Devils are giving up. They've given up their playoff hopes, and they are now sellers. And this is their leading goal scorer for the year. So they're trying to rely on players like Meyer, Hughes, Bratt, etc., to get them into the playoffs. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. Toffoli now being a Jet. Again, here comes another King, former King, going to the Jets. So now they got Velarde, Kupari, Iafallo. Grant, I know, right? Kupari's whatever. He's not doing anything this year. But, again, more players added to the Jets that are just really skilled players. And my hope was that the Kings would go and get Toffoli back because, again, a right-hand shot. We need someone to fill a top 9 role on the team. Whether if it's third line with Dubois and Laferriere, top line with Kopitar because Kempe's out, it had to be a right-hand shot, and adding Toffoli would have been a great fit. But like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I guess Rob Blake has a one-track mind. If you are gone, you're out, you're done. You can't come back to the Kings. Because right now, Rob Blake didn't make any moves. He did 0 transaction moves the entire trade deadline time frame. So obviously he's going to go with whatever we have now in the prayer that Arvidsson will eventually come back, which I don't think he will be. Obviously Adrian Kempe is injured. We don't know his time frame whatsoever. Mikey Anderson's still out. Again, Moverari just got signed to a 2-year extension, but again, that's league minimum $775K. It's not really worth much, regardless that, yes, he got his first NHL goal the other day. Congratulations to him, but I don't see him being one of our future key defensemen going into the next few years. After his 2-year extension's over, honestly, I don't see him staying as a King. But if he does, congratulations to him. Hopefully he can get better as the time goes on. And then, of course, we still have Carl Grundstrom, who's also injured. But yeah, we need a right-hand shot. The only right-hand forward is Trevor Lewis. So that's kind of an issue. We're all left-handed. That's too predictable for the Kings. It's probably why we went on such a losing streak during the months of December and January and going into February, because we just don't have the right-hand shots. So adding Toffoli was definitely something that I really wish the Kings considered, but apparently that's not the case. So he is going to the Jets, adding more offense to our already super offensive team, and I wish him all the best, because my cat is named Toffoli because of him, and we love him. So good luck, Toffoli. Hopefully not against us when we play each other. Some other stuff happened as well. Again, Pat Maroon once again is on the move. He's going to the Bruins. Not going to go into details just because I don't really care. Pat Maroon's a veteran in the NHL for sure, but he's just a kind of a goon at this point. He's not really like a skilled player like he used to be. So I'm not going to go into details about him, but he's always on the move. Everyone wants Patrick Maroon on their team, right? Jake Allen moved to the Devils. Again, they needed goaltending changes, but to me, I don't think it was necessarily the goaltending. It's the defense that needs help, and unfortunately, the Devils, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, so that doesn't really matter. Tampa Bay Lightning acquired Matt Dumba from the Arizona Coyotes. Again, Matt Dumba was expected to be their number one over Sean Durzi. Yeah, right. Matt Dumba is a totally overrated player. Everyone thinks he's so good. He's not great, by the way. Sean Durzi is definitely their number one. I'm pretty sure if you guys have watched Coyotes games / Coyote fans, let me know. Durzi is your number one. I loved him, and he should have stayed a King. He didn't. He's only paid $1.7 million. He's their number one defenseman. So for the Coyotes, who are obviously out of the playoff race, to get something for Dumba, great, good job. Definitely don't want to keep him there because, me personally, I think the Coyotes deserve better than that, and Dumba is an overrated player. So to get something out of it is great. Albeit not that high draft picks, but something's better than nothing, right? What else happened? Colin Miller also traded to the Winnipeg Jets. So here's something that a little concerning. Again, like I said, Devils are probably not going to go for the playoffs now because of this. They gave up another solid defenseman in Colin Miller, former Ontario Reign AHL affiliate of the Kings. He's going to Winnipeg too. So again, another King going to the Winnipeg Jets. They're just adding all kinds of good players, man. He only has 8 points in 41 games with the Devils, but again, that's 4 goals, 4 assists. He can be a very offensive player if needed. So I've seen him. He has a good shot. Again, he's going to be probably a good defenseman for the Jets going forward into the playoffs. Again, the Jets looking really strong with a strong roster as the trade deadline came to a close. And then, of course, like I said before, Thomas Hertl, probably the biggest shock for me here is being traded away from the Sharks to the Golden Knights. Now, once again, Golden Knights using their cap space because of Mark Stone being on injury reserve, just like the Tampa Bay Lightning a couple years back, cheating the cap system. But yeah, if Hertl plays for the Golden Knights, that's another center that just adds to their lineup. It's incredible how skilled and top-notch player, the Vegas Golden Knights roster is. It's stacked. D-core, forward core, goaltending is pretty solid right now. I know they've been losing games, but Aiden Hill has proved that he can be a strong goalie in the playoffs. Don't know about Logan Thompson and the other goalies going down the list, but hey, it's working out so far, right? The Golden Knights, ever since they came into the league, have always been winners. So to see that they added Hertl is actually kind of shocking. Sharks franchise obviously is complete mess right now. It is. They just got rid of every single person. The only ones left there that are really anybody's is Logan Couture and Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who's getting older. Wow. Just wow. I'm shocked. Sharks franchise, I when Joe Thornton was around with Patrick Marleau, I really liked the Sharks franchise. They were heading in the right direction. They were a really strong team. Obviously, that's all gone. Burns, Carlson, Thornton, Marleau, Pavelski, Hertl, Meyer, they're all gone. All of your strong Sharks are gone. So Sharks are in the complete 100%, 1,000% rebuild. They're out. They're probably going to be out for the next few years, honestly. So for me in SoCal, I'm happy that the NorCal is not getting any better. But as a, just a normal fan of players and franchises in general, I'm a little shocked to see that the Sharks have given up so much in the past couple years. And hey, if the rebuild works out for them, congratulations. We'll see in a few years. But right now, that's pretty amazing that Hertl is on the move. And Again, going to Vegas, who is already strong and is now getting stronger. So, congratulations to Hurdle. He is now on a Stanley Cup winning team, and hopefully for him as a player, he does really well and he boosts the team. As a fan of the Kings, obviously for me, hope they don't do well, and hopefully no chemistry builds from this trade. Otherwise, other than that, there really wasn't really there's just a few other couple things here, but that's pretty much it. Those are the biggest trades, in my opinion, for the trade deadline, as well as a couple trades, around the trade deadline time frame. Obviously, if we went back even more, going back to the Lindholm trade from the Flames to Canucks, apparently that was an interesting trade that that both teams wanted to get done early before the trade deadline. But other than that, that was it. That's pretty much it. And yeah, some not as shocking as other years, but again, to me, the biggest ones were definitely Gunsel and Hurdle. Two franchise style players suddenly gone. So big shocker there. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my little info on my opinions on the trades. Again, I didn't go into super details on everything, but I just wanted to give my thoughts and my opinions on these trades. And of course, a little disappointed that the Kings didn't do anything. I really thought they were going to go and get Toffoli again, but yeah, they didn't. So we'll see. We will see where things go. About 20 games left in the NHL season for majority of the teams, give and take a couple here and there. But 20 games-ish left. Now that the trade deadline's over, it's all in from here. This is what the teams are going for. So we'll see where things end up. Obviously, that's just one bookmark in the season. Going forward, we'll see how these trades pan out. I am expecting honestly, no shockers going forward. Golden Knights adding Tomas Hertl. Of course, they're going to score probably more goals. Hurricanes adding Gunsel. They're going to score more goals. Things like that. It's going to be expected to happen. So, no real big shockers here. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below what you guys thought, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content. Again, 20 games left. Probably going to do quite a few more videos on hockey, whether if it's the Kings or not. Things are going to be explored here on the channel. And going forward, I really hope that the Kings made the right decisions not to go get a right-handed shot. And we'll see if it plays out, to Rob Blake's design. I think he's made a huge ass mistake, but we will see. We will see. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.